Hello everyone, it's me again. Today I'll tell you about the very interesting, tiring, sunny but memorable day at work. The story revolves around a Howe Pond TM71 paint sprayer, a long row of concrete railings along the edge of a pond, and an afternoon of hard work under the early summer sun of the north. Anyone who works as a painter, a finishing worker, or simply loves painting and repairing machines, I think the story will bring you some useful things. That day, I received a small project, repainting the entire row of railings along a pond in the guest house. This project is located in the commune. The road is a bit winding, but the scenery is very beautiful. A large pond, blue water, surrounded by areca trees, coconut trees, and the sound of chirping birds. The homeowner wanted me to repaint the entire row of balusters, roughly 300 of them, each about 50 centimeters high, standing close together like soldiers, connecting from one end to the other from more than 60 meters. As soon as I saw the row of balusters, I immediately determined rolling or sweeping with a broom would not be effective. These types of surfaces, curved, deeply grooved, and close together, if I just held a broom and swept each one, it would take 3 days to finish. Not to mention the uneven sweeping, some thick, some thin, too much paint here and not enough there, and then having to fix it, wasting both time and paint. Thinking that, I decided to bring along the Howe Pond TM71 paint sprayer. I bought this machine almost a year ago, used it on many projects. It is still durable, strong, runs smoothly, and has never misbehaved. It is the workhorse of the workers. Before starting construction, I went around to check the site. The lathes are cast from solid concrete with wide bases, round bodies, and curved patterns. Some of them have dirt and moss stuck in the grooves. I asked the assistant to use a wire brush, a brush, and a dry cloth to wipe each one thoroughly. When using a sprayer, the surface must be absolutely clean. Otherwise, the paint will not stick and will easily peel off later. Next is the machine preparation stage. I opened the lid of the paint tank, checked the spray head, and adjusted it to the round spray mode, the mode that I really like when working on narrow surfaces with deep grooves like this. The round spray mode helps the paint jet follow a narrow circle, easy to control, and does not spread like a horizontal or vertical fan. Especially when spraying each lathe close together, just a little deviation will cause it to stick to the side, which will look very bad. The round spray helps me control the paint flow extremely precisely. The paint I used is acrylic-based water-based paint, milky white, specifically for outdoor concrete. I diluted it to about 8 to 10%, then filtered it through a thin cloth to remove the residue. Many people skip the filtering step, but it is actually very important because even a small amount of residue can clog the nozzle, especially when using the cluster spray mode. After everything was ready, I turned on the machine and pulled the trigger to test it. The paint stream came out very evenly. The engine sound was smooth, not too loud, just the right type of just enough force, just steady. I started from the first lathe, holding the machine about 12 to 15 centimeters from the surface, slowly moving it vertically. Right from the first few times, I saw obvious results. The paint layer adhered evenly, without splashing, without smudging to the next one, especially the deep grooves. Previously, when using a brush, the paint could not get in. Now the cluster spray went straight in, covering all surfaces without having to brush a second time. Each lathe took me less than 10 seconds to process, fast and very even in color. Just like that, I worked continuously. The machine was strong, the jet was even, the handle was steady, and there was no vibration. However, I have to admit that holding the Howe Pond TM71 for a long time was a bit tiring because the weight was a bit heavier than other mini machines. I had prepared a shoulder strap, but because I was filming the video, I wanted to keep my hands free for a nice frame, so my wrists were numb after more than an hour of spraying. In the middle, I stopped, put the machine on the wooden table, and took a drink. Looking back at the row of lathes that had been painted for a while, I felt very satisfied. The white color was even, smooth like porcelain, no smudges, no old background exposed. There was a park where I filmed a close-up, so that those watching in the video could clearly see the paint jets gathering and spraying very beautifully, each swirl evenly, like a fine mist gently covering the concrete. After about 2 hours of continuous work, almost the entire row of lathes were painted. I let the paint dry naturally in the sun and then came back to check after about 1 to 2 hours. The surface was dry, no dust, no blisters. I rubbed it with my hand. There was no peeling or flaking paint, very solid. It can be said that this is one of the small projects that I have been most satisfied with so far, mostly thanks to this TM71 machine. At this point, the project was finished. Hundreds of concrete lathes were covered with a layer of white paint, neat and clean, standing close together on the edge of the pond, like soldiers in uniforms welcoming the coming summer. As for me, a worker who has been attached to the painting profession for many years, I finished another working day, tired, happy, and full of thoughts. Sitting under an old grapefruit tree, I poured a cup of green tea, looking towards the pond shimmering in the afternoon sun. The wind blew gently, the water surface rippled. The white balusters stood out against the sky, making the surrounding scenery seem to light up. How strange! A new coat of paint, which seems to be just a normal thing, but it changes the whole feeling of the space, from old and dull to new, bright and fresh. Having worked in this profession for many years, I understand that every project, big or small, whether it is a billion-dollar villa or just a railing on the bank of a private pond, it deserves to be done properly. And to do that, not only do you need skilled hands, but you also need truly suitable tools that truly understand the user. For me, the How Pond TM71 paint sprayer is one of those friends. It is not perfect, not flashy, but durable, strong, stable, trustworthy, the type of a true professional friend. I think for an artisan like me, the most important thing is the heart. Do it carefully, do it correctly, do it beautifully, not just to finish it. Customers don't know the technique, but they can see if there is heart or not. And when customers are satisfied, I also feel happy inside. Like today, the owner kept looking back and forth, then invited me to stay for dinner with his family, just a simple meal with a bowl of spinach soup and fried fish, but it was very warm. I remember a brother in the profession once said, "Being an artisan is hard, but if you love your job, it becomes an art." At first I thought it was just a joke, but later I realized it was true. Looking at the straight rows of lathes, each one as if cast in porcelain, I found them beautiful. Not only beautiful in form, but beautiful because behind it is the effort, the technique, the choice of the right machine, the right method, the right heart. Actually, it's the same with any job. As long as you do it with all your heart, the job will not let you down. And the same goes for the equipment and machinery I use. If I understand it, use it correctly, and maintain it carefully, it will not let me down. How Pond TM71, in my eyes, is not just a paint sprayer, but a companion throughout many projects. Quiet, durable, no complaints, no snacks. Just turn it on and it will get done thoroughly. So, another day has passed. I packed up the machinery, packed up the remaining paint cans, cleaned the nozzle, washed my hands, and got on my old motorcycle to go home. On the way back, the afternoon wind blew into my collar. The smell of paint lingered somewhere in my sleeves, making me suddenly think, no matter how busy and hard life is, every day I get to do the work I love and see the results created by my own hands. That is also a simple happiness. If any of you are watching this video and are working in the painting industry like me, I hope that you will always maintain your love for the job. Always seek and upgrade your skills and equipment. Because when you do well, your customers are satisfied. You yourself are proud. And that is more valuable than any empty compliment. Thank you everyone for watching this video until the end. If you find it interesting and useful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. To support me to continue making more videos sharing real things, doing real work, no frills, no over-advertising. Just a worker recounting his real experiences. See you all in the next video. It could be a newly painted Thai-roofed house. It could be a CNC fence being sprayed with oil paint. Or one day I sit and brush each ceramic tile. But always be sincere like today. Hello everyone. Wishing everyone a peaceful day and smooth, complete projects.